YouTube, if you are watching this video is 100% YouTube compliant. The magazines we use are 29 round YouTube compliant magazines. The lower we are running is a semi-automatic lower. It is not fully automatic. Everything we have here is 100% YouTube compliant and federal and state and local law regulated and compliant. We do not sell firearms. For anybody watching this video to believe we're doing anything out of the ordinary, whatever, every bit of this is script and we're not even shooting real bullets. So that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, we're back. So what we're going to be focusing on today is the MP5 side of the super safety. So what we have here today is a Heckler & Koch SP5K, SP5K is in there. We'll be looking at that here in a second. But we have the H&K SP5 full size. This also has the Warhammer Armaments Super Safety. You can use the code GWEB, GWEBB, get a decent amount of money back on your order on that one. But if you want to check them out, you can go to Warhammer Armaments, and that's the best way to find that Super Safety. But before we get too much further, what we're going to be looking in here today is that how can we make this run? So it's not as simple as an AR-15 drop and play. You have to have a little bit of components different for these right here to work. So the first thing off that you will want to get is either a Lee Sporting lower or a SKO lower. I know there's a few other companies coming out with one. We might visit them later on in the future if they want to send us one, but I'm running the Lee Sporting lower. So with a Lee Sporting lower, it will take an AR-15 trigger housing group, and you can pretty much plug and play with a super safety. So after you get that right there, pretty much, you will need to get an SKO trip. So after you get the SKO trip in it, you will need to at least shave down your hammer. So one thing on the H&K SP5, the full size, is that bolt carrier group will come all the way back into about right here whenever it fully decompresses and goes forward. You can either do a buffer or you can shave your hammer to where it is more of a rounded shape. You can get the little jig from SKO as well. That's what we ended up doing. So once you take and you round that hammer out, most of the time you don't have to have that buffer. Some builds you do, some builds you don't. H&K or the MP5 in general is not fully 100% one-to-one clones. There's a little bit differences here and there, but this here is the full size H&K. So, but without further ado, let's go ahead and take a few shots with it. We had a figure there. All right, that's a fresh round. All right, empty. Brand new 4.0 round magazine. So sorry we had to say that like that because it is YouTube. But anyway, brand new AC Unity. Sometimes they run, sometimes they don't. We have some H&K mags. If that continues to persist, there might be something wrong with the actual gun itself. But let's go ahead and switch into a new mag. But as you can see there, runs pretty smooth. This one is a Germany mag with hollow points. So let's go ahead and see how well it runs. Alrighty, so as you can see, as a made in Germany MP5 mag, and it ran fine. Had some hollow points in them too, a little bit expensive, but point behind it being is that with these right here, they can be a little bit finicky. This one right here seems to be running almost perfect now, but that buffer that goes in here, what that does is it keeps that bolt carrier group from coming all the way back and surpassing your hammer. If you shave your hammer down and make it rounded, polish it out, make it look pretty good, you do not have to use a buffer in some stances. We originally had the buffer in this one, and whenever we was shooting it, that recoil with the super safety, it was wanting to go straight up, and I was like, this does not seem right, because I've shot a fully automatic machine gun MP5 before, and whenever I shot that, I mean, you can sit here and control it just like you can this right here now. So in my opinion, I've tried everything that there was, and I had to come down to it was being that buffer, which was causing that recoil to be so severe. So anyway, now that we don't have to have the buffer, the recoil in it feels pretty good. Let's go ahead and load up another mag with it and see how she goes. Another one of the AC unities. Well, ran like a top with that. But as you can see, guys, these guns right here, they're very, very fun. Let's go ahead and take a few shots on the semi-automatic. That's enough of that. I know what you's come here for. So, you see the thing is running like a sewing machine. There's chickens going off the deep end. But as you can see, guys, it's running like a sewing machine. So I'm glad that we finally got this one running pretty good. Now, let's go ahead and switch gears and go to the SP5K. All right, guys, so we're now back with the SP5K PDW. Once again, this is an HK SP5K. So let's go ahead and take a few shots with it first, and we'll get into some details. All right, that one ran good. So, H&K SP5K with the Super Safety. Very interesting build, and this is probably my favorite firearm that I currently own right now. I mean, this thing, it's literally a, it's a work of art. It's the easiest way to put it. I have a lot of firearms. This one's easily my top 5, if not my favorite one, now that we have the Super Safety in it. As you can see right there, it runs like a top. There's no question about it. And you know, there's always going to be a special place in my heart for the full-size MP5 just because of how iconic it is and everything like that. But now whenever it comes to this one right here, for how fun it is and how super safe it is, this one right here is my favorite one. Plus, too, we found that it runs a little bit better than the SP5. We had to do a little bit of, you know, sanding on the trigger, make sure everything tolerances is right and all that. But with this one right here, as long as you get that Lee Spartan lower and that SKO trip with it, guys, I mean, it's working fine. Yes, you probably still need to get that SKO jig just for the hammer to get everything rounded down and make sure it's good and smoothed off. But at the same time, this one right here does not give us a single problem one, which now the SP5 doesn't either, but we just had to do a little bit more behind it. But if you want to be as close as one and done as you can, the SP5K is bad hard to beat with how easy it is to do it. Let's go ahead and load it up some more. Alrighty, empty with that one now. Try not to throw them on the ground. I threw them 2 on the ground a minute ago, boys, and I looked and big old glob of dirt's right in them, and that's destroyed that one. I have to clean it out real well. That thing right there, that's one thing I don't really much care for with these polymer mags. They run, especially with them 4.0 round mags. They look pretty cool, but they run decent, don't get me wrong, but where they're polymer, they can get stuck in the mag well. You can see how I've got a jerk on that. You can shave them down a little bit to make it help, but it's just better off to run the actual metal mags. So as you can see, that right there, guys, this is a load of fun to sit here and shoot. I mean, I could sit here and blow through 3,000 or 4,000 rounds if I had it on hand in one day, just because of how fun it is. It will turn a 2-hour range session into about a 2-minute range session if you don't watch out what you're doing. Very easy to control. I mean, this thing right here, and like, you know, the full-size SP5, I'm not throwing off on it a bit, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, whenever it comes to this right here, I just absolutely, sorry, I'm trying to get that tightened back down so we don't lose it out here on the range. But I just absolutely love this, and guys, there's just no question about it. But if you want to be as simple, let's get her done, you know, the SP5K, in my opinion, with these super safeties, is the better way to run. That's what we've found ourselves. You might ask 10 different people, you might get 10 different answers. But with the super safeties, like I said, the SP5K is hard to beat with that in it. So let's go ahead and run one more mag through it just because I feel like it. And I know you all want to see it too. Another one of them 4.0 mags. You know what we got to do with it. little bit of well, have one failure with that one. Once again, I've ran this thing now. I'd say we've got 5,000 rounds to this guy right here, man. And these right here, these mags, is the only ones that's giving me any problems. So have fun with them, but don't put your life to them. It's the only thing I can say about them. But either way it goes, closing thoughts, especially, and you know, this is a little bit more of an updated video as well for the Warhammer Armaments Super Safety. Once again, if you search Warhammer Armaments on Google, it'll take you straight to it. You can use code GWEB, GWEBB, and it will get you a very good discount, so make sure you use that. You know, we've seen a lot on Reddit and on Facebook about some of the cams being wore out pretty quick. If I'm not mistaken, we've got right at 6,000 rounds just on this cam itself. That's 2,000 rounds on with a 5.56, 223, and 4,000 now with 9mm on the same cam and Super Safety from Warhammer Armament. So that being said, it still looks like brand new. I don't want to show it on camera right now because once again, YouTube's, I don't know what they're doing. I'll be lucky to be here next week, to be honest with you, as much crazy stuff as we've been doing lately. But with that being said, it looked fine, and that's even before we come out here and shot this video that you're watching right now. So it's even got more than that on it now. But the cam arm looks fine. There's no egging at all. And, you know, some people have even talked about the Lee Sport lower, where this thing right here goes back and forth, where this thing is so polished and is just built so well, the actual cam of it. We're not seeing any bit of shavings on the Lee lower. So, I mean, I'm telling you something, guys, this thing's running like a top, and if you want the best Super Safety that I have personally tested, once again, I've not tested the other ones on the market, but this one is the best one I have personally tested. That Warhammer Armaments is pretty hard to beat. But guys, let me know what y'all think about this video. If y'all want to see another updated video at like 10,000 rounds, we'll do it for you. You know, I'm super happy with how well this thing right here is ran, guys. I mean, this right here, once again, it was my top 5 favorite gun to begin with, but I believe now this right here is my #1 favorite gun that I currently own, just because that's Super Safety. I mean, she's smooth as the day is long, and man, you can't tell me that there's not more iconic gun and a more cool looking gun than this thing right here. But guys, I appreciate y'all viewing as always. Like and subscribe for more gun reviews, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Guys, I found another loaded mag in my pocket, and I just want to see how well I can butter that man-sized target here from 40 yards. I'm a stickler for ammunition, but I'm having so much fun, I just believe I will waste probably about $1,000 worth of ammunition today. I need my rear end kick, but guys, once again, appreciate y'all viewing. Like and subscribe for more gun reviews, and I'll see y'all in the next video.